Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, back for another crafty video. So, this time we are going to move on with sewing these signatures into the, do you remember the spring, summer, autumn, winter journals that I was making, that all interlock? Okay, so if you don't remember, I'll put a link to it in the description. So, I need to make some templates for these to be able to put the holes in the right place for the signatures, because remember we've got some where they are higher and lower. So we've got two that are like higher up and two that are lower down, just because we wanted the spines to look a little bit different when you put them, when you see them. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this piece of cardboard just as my template for making my holes. Okay, so the reason why it's folded twice is it's going to be one for these set of holes and the other one for those set of holes. So this one I'm going to have in, I'm just going to write on the top of here. So this is going to be top, I believe, on there. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark where those holes are. There, there, and there on that one, and then all I need to do is remember that I need to make two for that and two for these. So just going to move those over, fold on the next bit, put that in there. That needs to just be moved over a little bit. So these are just holding these together, because then that meant that these holes, when I was making those, they were going to be in the right place. So that's going to go on there. Just going to make sure it lines up with the yellow one. Not worried about the purple one being slightly different. And then we're going to go there, there, and there, and we're going to say top on that one. Okay, so by top, what I mean is that, because remember this all interlock, so it's not really the top. But the interlocking bit is on the left hand side, and just the flap is on the right hand side. So now we've got these, what I need to do is I just need to make some holes. Oh, well, they're in the same place anyway, so who knew? Although I think I did make a template. It's been so long ago since I even touched this. So right, I need a pokey tool. There we go. And I just need to go in there, in there, and in there. I'll do that again. And those ones. And then what I'm going to do is flip it over, and now I should be able to see those holes, which you can. I just need to actually just drive that through better, make it a bigger hole. So when I made them in the journals, because I didn't want to make it just an organic hole, otherwise in those, because in these, if I'd made it just as a poked through hole, it would weaken this, and it's more likely to rip. So I used my I believe it was my crocodile that I used for that, my big bite one. But for these, this is not going to be taking any weight. This is literally just a template. Just going to make things with my awl or pokey tool or whatever you want to call it. Okay. So all those holes are made. Now what I can do is unclip that, open this to the middle. You know what I do need before I do that? Back in a second. So I have this book, and it's as interesting as it is. It's not really very practical for journaling because it's not. There's lots of words and not very many pictures. So what I tend to do is I tend to use it as my V for making it. Doesn't matter where I'm just going to a random page, but I wanted it kind of equidistant in the middle so it sits nicely. And then what I'm going to do is open that up like that, find the middle. I think that one is the middle. Yep, it is. Pop that on there, and then we want that to kind of sit with an equidistance here and here, so we need to come down a little bit, and then we can poke through our holes into the V of the book. So there, there, and there. So that's that one. So now I can fold that back up again and clip it, and it should all stay in the same place together. I'll do another one. So the two yellow ones can be one, two. So by yellow I mean they've just got a piece of paper telling me which is the top. That's just so that any music paper or anything that's in there is going to be the right way up. That's the middle. There's on there. That's going to be in the middle of them. That's fine. And then that can go through that. That's that one. And just fold that up. And that's that one done. So then we're going to flip this round because it's the other template. I know we decided it was fairly much in the middle, but just in case there was a little bit difference, I'm flipping it round. Is that the middle? It is. So we're going to use that template. That's going to go at the top of that, on the top of that. That's fine. And then we're going to go a hole there, a hole there, and a hole there. Yep. Close that up and just clip that back in. And do the same with that one. Out the middle, yes it is. Pop that on there. Make sure that is kind of in the middle, top and bottom of there. And then we do hole, hole, hole. And take those off. And that's our template used. So cool. So now I can just pack that up now. I know it looks like bookworms have been at that because it's got holes all the way down the middle of it. So we will do those two for these two. So I can take these apart now because I don't need to hold them together because we've made the holes. And we can now put these in. So I'm not going to decorate the inside. I'm going to do something after I've made, which is a very controversial way to do it, I know. But I'm going to do it afterwards because I want to just get these signatures sewn in. So what I was going to sew them in with is I've got some waxed string. So what I've got is these. So what I thought was, if we have the white for winter, we have the brown for autumn, we have this multicoloured one for summer, and we have this one for spring. So, and we had it so that this colour was spring, I can't remember what the others were. Oh, this colour was autumn, this colour was summer, and this colour was brown. Oh, it was brown. It is brown, Dave. It was winter. So this is. So we've got this is winter. I think we could do with labelling that. So I might just write on it because every time I come back to it, I'm like, I can't remember what I said it was now. Winter. So winter, because everything's brown in winter, and then. This is spring. I'll just write spring on this. Yeah. This one's summer. Is it summer? No, that's not summer. Just remember, this is summer because the leaves are all nice and green. And then, sorry, this one is autumn or fall if you are. Oh, don't you just hate it when you use a... I don't know why I'm trying to hold those together. We don't need them to be together. I've used that eraser, which is obviously dead, and it's left a horrible mark now. There we go. Rub that out. So try again. Autumn. Cool. So, I'm going to sew this into here, and we're going to, because this is the summer one, we're going to use this one. So this is just some wax thread. This is actually stuff that Brian bought me for Christmas. I'm just going to get my needle out. I do have a needle somewhere. I've got a needle pulling thread as well, so, and a note to follow. So, a tea with jam and bread. Oh, shut up. Nobody wants to hear me sing The Sound of Music. Take my needle out and then try and thread it. So, well, try and thread it. Try and find the end first. Is that the end? It is. So, well, I always do 1, 2, 3 on a bit for when I'm sewing in anything. It kind of gives me enough space to kind of tie it, but also be able to put it through the needle. I like the needle to be like that. So we need to go back to the middle. Somewhere. There, okay. And then we're going to find the middle hole. We go through them. And the middle of there, we go through there. So I'm just going to do the classic 3-hole pamphlet stitch, whatever. Like I say classic, like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. Apparently it's a classic 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but to me it could be a 3-hole, I don't know, Venezuelan apple tree. I don't know. It's just called, that's what apparently other people call it. So I just follow suit, do as I'm told. So, not easy being green if you Kermit the Frog. It's also not easy doing this if you're not Kermit the Frog. I'll leave a tail as old as time. No, big enough to be able to tie something with, and then go in through the top one or the bottom one, or whichever one it is. Doesn't matter. But you want to go in through there and in through the hole in the journal page, which is going to be one of those times when it's just going to be a pain in the bum. So let's bring that all the way through there, Dave. And then go through this. No, today it's going to be a pain in the derriere, isn't it? So I'm just going to use this all just to kind of group them all together again. So all the holes line up in there. That's great. Take that out. This is the reason why I haven't sewn it together again. It's not my favourite thing to do, sewing signatures. Sister Susie sewing and shirts for soldiers. So to there. Then down to here. About on that side. Out through there. Out through the hole. Going out is always easier than coming back in again. Coming out is always easier than trying to go back in again. Oh look, my journal spine is coming apart. I might need to rectify that now while I'm able, before I sew this in and make it impossible to get into. Because it's just been sat on my shelf for so long, probably. Right, get that off your finger, Dave. You want to go back through that hole that we did before. No, we want to go through all of the holes, Dave. Not just some of them, not selectively. Please be good and do this really right, and then I'll leave you alone all flaming night. So once it's gone in through that side, if you've got one tail one side, you want the other one tail the other side. So once we've done that, we can tighten it. You don't want to pull too hard because you'll rip the holes. Oh. And you don't want to pull too hard as well, because although it's wax thread and it's stronger, it can also still snap. So when you've tied it one way, then you tie it the other way. And then normally I would cut these off, but I think I like them so much I'm going to put a little, I say a little, that's a giant bow, Dave, a little bow in them. And rather than risk it coming undone, I'll just double bow that. Just want to get the ears the same length. Yep, that's fine. And then just double bow that. Cool, and then we'll cut the tails off. There we go. So that's that one. Yay, it's sewn together. So there's that one. So that's the summer. So then we're going to do the, what's this one? Winter. So that's this one. So that we don't want that colour this time. We want the white one because that's winter. So again, we want to go 1, 2, 3 and a bit. We want to find that needle, thread it, and then we want to just get back to the middle, back to line. Is that the middle? It is. And through there. And again, leave a bit of a tail in through the top. Now these would be easier to line up if it would had a, normally you'd have it in a crease, but because I've got a square back to this, it's not as easy to line it up. So I know it hasn't caught the top of this page, but the downward this bit will hold it down. Coming down like this will hold it down. So if I've got that side this time, when I come back through, it's got to be the other side. So that's the hole there. Hole there. Don't unthread the needle, Dave. That's what you used to do in sewing class every time. Pulling through, not watching what you're doing. The needle's coming unthreaded. So through there. When you put your needle through, you just need to make sure you don't split the thread. Just like when you're sewing. All of those years in school when I probably should have been paying attention. It looks like I might have been. Don't split the thread, Dave. So, again, pull it taut, not too taut. You don't want to rip the holes. I think you could do with a little bit more tautness. Give a wiggle. Right. Knotted one way. Knotted the other way. Tied into a bow. Pretty little bow. No, don't pull that bow because it'll just pull through all the way through. Like that. You just don't have a very big thing on the end of there. Ear, that's what I want. Ear. Right. Just tie that through. Fingers in the holes, in the loops. Oh, there we go. And then cut that to the same length as that one. That's already short. So there we go. That's that middle of that one. So that's the winter one. Now we'll do these, which are spring and summer, I believe. No, autumn and spring. So Dave, get it right. So then we'll do this, so that we don't need the white one now. We need to have autumn is brown, so we'll do this one. It's already unraveling itself. 1, 2, 3, and a bit. Nice and quick and easy. Once you get into a rhythm, it's okay. It's getting into the rhythm though. This is the rhythm of the night. Where are my 3 holes? There. There. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, hang on a minute. I think I'm going to have to go. Oh. Oh. I've just realised I shouldn't have turned the cardboard up the other way. It should have been. Yeah, that's not going to be right now. We need the short bit at the top. So, yeah, so I'm going to have to put some other holes in these, I'm afraid. I've done it wrong, so, you know me. I like to just be honest. If I've done it wrong, I've done it wrong. There was some mills on the bit that I did before. I don't know whether I'll find the same page. Doesn't matter. Don't matter. No matter. So that's going to go there. Let's just line those holes up. Where's me poke it up there? So there. So that means then they're centered. So we need to put the holes in the same place, which makes sense now. I know what I'm doing now. Well, now. Better late than never. I know I'm going to end up with like extra holes, but never thee mind. It just looks like I've got extra holes in it. So that one, and then this one needs to be done the same. I couldn't have turned it round the other. I could have done if all the pages were blank, but they're not. They've all got text on. Well, not all of them. Some have got text on, and it would look silly with the text being upside down. I mean, let's face it, I put everything else upside down, so could have left it, I guess. That's what you get for doing things on 3 hours sleep, Dave. So put that back. Cool. Glad I didn't put it back. So now, who knows which is the middle? No. Which is the middle hole? That one. There. Out through there. Is that not folded? That's interesting. That one didn't seem to have had a fold in it. It should have done. Bizarre. Okay, so back to where I was what I was doing. In there. In there. All the way through. Holding on to it. So the reason why this was yellow for autumn is because it's the what am I trying to say? It's like the leaves of the trees in autumn. You know, they go those lovely yellowy colours. So, and obviously there's reds and things, but I don't have red file folders, so I didn't do it in red. So. Right, I need to group these together so that the holes are all lined up again, because it's gone out of skew. Yeah, there we go. Should just have done that, Dave. I normally would suggest clipping them together again, but I was just being a fool. You've probably all just been like screaming, just clip them together. But, you know, I'm not listening, so don't pay attention to myself. I'm definitely not going to pay attention to anybody else. So, and then, which is the last hole that we can sew through that one. Pull that through. Tighten it as we go, and then back through the middle. Should be fairly easy to do now, except for it isn't. You need to be in 15 places at once when you sew. This is why I don't like sewing signatures together. This is why you don't see me make a lot of journals. Because I don't have much sleep, and I get frustrated. Right, go through there now. Please just go through the holes. Through the holes, people, please. Come on. No, you're not going to do this, are you? It's going to be pain in the derriere. Right, just do that for a minute, Dave. Put that through there. Go all the way through. Cool. Now get that out there and put that through there. Just follow it through as you go, as it comes out. There we go. It should be through. No, of course it's not through the middle, is it? No, and that's actually through the thread. Need to get that off there. There we go. That can come out there. Right, so let's tighten this up, because it's a right shambolic mess at the moment. So, oh, there we go. We've gone through the thread. Like that. Undo that. Put that back through underneath there. And I can't remember which way I've just done that knot. I think that's the right way. that, through there, tie it up, similar sort of length, tie those together. Those two together. Just cut the frayed end off the end of that. There we go. So that's another one. Done. Yeah. And then we've got the final one, which is the spring one, which is going to have the green thread to it. So 1, 2, 3, and a little bit. This is a bit stiffer, this thread. The reason for that is I've had it a lot longer, so the wax kind of starts to solidify. So find the middle. That's the middle. Don't know if I'm going to be able to clip those together like that. Let's try doing it that way. I think that's the middle that I've got to go out through. There to there. Yeah, that's the right one. Oh, don't unthread it, Dave. In through there. Trying to come back to all of these projects that have kind of been suspended halfway. I think it's part of my process of grieving. I don't want any loose ends. I don't want anything left undone that should be done. I don't know how it's related, but it's for some reason I feel like I need to come back to these things. So, you know, I suspend things because I get bored of them if I do the same thing over and over and over again. And also I've noticed that certainly with my algorithm, that, well, not mine personally, but YouTube's algorithm, that people don't seem to like part 2s, part 3s, but ow, it's gonna have a nice splash of blood on that. People don't like part 2s, part 3s, part 4s of things. They like something new and different all the time. It's really hard to come up with new and different things all the time, though. So, you know, I do try to be creative and think outside of the box, or make some boxes to think outside of first. But it is a challenge to just keep innovating, especially because I don't have a huge amount of time for research, which has been diminished even. I think that might be the other reason why I need to finish things, because I don't have a huge amount of time to research anyway, but then even more impacted is because I'm trying to give myself time to grieve as well, which I'm finding a bit of a challenge. Now, look, these things. So from the last video, you might have noticed that this has got a yellow end and it used to have a blue end. And that's because the blue end one is missing in, well, it's MICR, which is missing in craft room. Not missing in action. So there we go. That's those sewn together. So we're moving along with these. So remember that these all sit together. They can either sit, so to get my bearings. So which ones have we got? We've got spring. So we've got spring, summer, autumn, winter. So they can either slot together like this. So they go, start with the last one. They either slot in Dave, that's the wrong way. That way. No, that is the right way, Dave. You're just being an idiot now. Sorry. So long ago since I did this, can't even remember what I was doing with it. There you go. That slots into there. Okay, so they can either slot like this, so they all go like this way. Okay, but the way I decided to have them is so that they slot the other way. So that way then they slot together like this. So this one slots into this way. Like that. This one, what we've got, that's autumn. This should be summer next. So then this one slots in this way. Need a bit of wax on these to be able to get them to go properly. Why are they just going to be a pain when I'm trying to show you? It's because that's gone in a weird angle, that's why. So I'm trying to rush, that's why. Or maybe it's because it needs a little bit taking off it, maybe. There we go, like that. And then we've got this one that goes into there. And they're meant to just kind of nest together, and you use them separately. So you take one out, they're like field note journals. You take one out with you when you're going to do your field research. Okay. Okay, we're just going to be a pain, are we? In that case, then I'm gonna cut you down. Oh dear, Dave, no, don't do it like that. It's just a bit too big, I think that's the problem. And also because I'm on camera and things never go right when you're on camera, when you want them to go right. You've got to remember that when the covers are covered as well, they'll be a bit stiffer. They're flimsy cardboard at the moment, so they're supposed to sit together like that. There we go. So then you've got a journal here which you can take off, and you've got a journal here, and you've got a journal here, and you've got a journal here. But unlike the other ones that I've seen where they do like the accordion style journal, you can take these apart. So, and also you don't want them to be too slippy out because otherwise they'll just fall apart. But there we go. That's where we are. So that's winter. So we've got winter, which is open from the other side, and then we've got autumn. Then we've got summer, which is open from the other side, and then we've got spring. And then the other way around, it's spring, open from the other side, summer, autumn, open from the other side, winter. Or like I say, you can have them all like facing the same direction, entirely up to you. And that way then these, I'll get rid of the pencil marks, don't worry. These marry together, so these are the same orientation, and then these are the same orientation as well, so it's not like up and down, up and down. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. It did to me anyway. So there we go. That's how they are. That's where we are at. You can tell me what you think. I will come back. I'll bring more of the same to you, well, more of these at a later date. Don't want to be doing it the next video, so you will see it again, don't worry. I will leave them together now because I know that they are done, and I will see you in the next video. So thank you very much for spending some time with me. My name is Dash of Dave, and guess what, I love you all, without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Don't worry, we'll get this perfected before we finalise it. All right then, take care, folks. See you soon. Bye. 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 Bye.